So, hello everybody. This is Ralph Ferret, the branch secretary of the Plymouth and East Cornwall AMAL, with another of our series of videos about the pay and major change that's happening in our organisation and our Four Pillars campaign finally coming towards the end. And I'm sorry I've not made a video for a while. I know it's been a frustrating experience for all of us with these talks happening in secrecy. You know, your reps locally in the branch have been just as frustrated as you and just as much wanting some information. So today there's some great news that a negotiators agreement has been endorsed by the Postal Executive and will go out to a ballot of all of us when we get to have the final say on the agreement. Now obviously that agreement's just come out today. Here's my copy that I'm waiting to have a good detailed read through, and it will take all of us some time to understand and digest all of the details. There's going to be a long process by which your senior officials and your local reps get briefed on all the details of this information. And then once we've had the chance to understand the agreement and have a think and a talk, our branch will be making a recommendation to you all about whether or not we think you should vote for the deal. And that process is going to take a while. So one thing I'd ask everybody to be is to please be patient with your local reps, because there's been an awful lot to take in, and not all of them are going to be able to digest the information immediately. I know, for example, it's going to take me a little bit to get my head around all of the complicated stuff in this deal, and I'll do my best, and all of our reps will do their best to answer all of your questions as quickly as we possibly can, but it's going to take us a little bit of time. So although I don't know all of the details about what's in this deal, because I haven't had a chance to digest it all yet, the key headlines are this. We've managed to secure a cost of living pay rise. We've managed to secure a new pension solution for every one of our members, both existing members of the Royal Mail Pension Plan and members of the DC scheme. We've managed to secure an agreement on a shorter working week and a flight path to an even shorter working week. And we've managed to have our legal protections extended to 2022. And whatever else happens, that represents a fantastic achievement for our union. Now, the devil is always in the detail on any agreement, and we need to take the time to look at all of that detail. But I think we can all agree that us achieving this kind of major change by standing together as a union is a great thing. Now, when it comes to making up your minds, I know that one of the things that will always happen is you'll all be reading the agreement straight away and we'll all be going through it, and no doubt there are going to be some things in that agreement that we like less than other things. That's always going to be the case. No union has ever been able to conclude a deal where it was only contained things that they liked, where we didn't have to give up anything in return, that we didn't have any changes. That doesn't happen in the real world. But I think what we have to do when we're considering this agreement, and what I'll be asking your branch central committee to do when we consider our recommendation, is to compare this to where we were. And I think it's worth remembering where we were when we started this process, because where we were was that Royal Mail were going to close the Royal Mail Pension Plan to existing members and put everybody into the DC scheme, so all of us would have had an uncertain future in retirement and would have been facing working till we die. There was no prospect of a shorter working week. They wanted to have a last letter time for every delivery office of 5 o'clock, meaning substantial changes to everybody's working lives and the mail pipeline. And they'd said that there was an end to cost of living pay rises. They wanted to get rid of our sick pay. They wanted to automatically issue sick warnings. They wanted to have team working, where if somebody went away, you'd have to cover all of their work off your own back. And there was a whole plethora of other things that were entirely unacceptable to us. So when you're comparing this agreement, you need to compare it to that. There are other comparisons we need to make when deciding how to vote, and that's something the branch will do. But that's the real big one, of comparing what we've got to where we are. So I don't know everything about this agreement, but the headline stuff I think is good news. So what's going to happen next? Well, we'll be taking the time to understand the agreement, both locally in your branch and nationally as a union. There'll be a national briefing for the senior reps next week, and in the coming weeks there'll be regional briefings for all of the local reps, and we'll be having branch meetings where we decide our policy. As is always the case, I'll be coming to every office and every shift wherever possible to talk to you directly about the deal and what the branch are recommending. And we're also going to have a series of videos. First of which hopefully will come out next week. I'll try and cut it before I go on leave this weekend. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how the pay deal is structured, because I know that in the hour or so since the deal's come out, I've already had nearly double figures inquiries of members of that. So I'll try to answer some questions about that soon. But the truth is, whatever we think, we have made a fantastic achievement here. And we did that by standing together as a union. So colleagues, thank you for listening to me. Keep the faith and support your union. Thanks.